Got Jamir Tillman, Keenan Reynolds, and Austin Grebe, offensive players.
Keenan, can you talk a little bit about what they were doing in the first half where you had punted on first four possessions of the game, didn't get a first down until midway through the second quarter? What were they doing defensively? Was something to confuse you guys or just?
No, they did what we expected them to do. But we just shooting ourselves in the foot. And, I mean, they were definitely taking advantage of that. They were very high pursuit on defense, rallying to the ball, getting a lot of penetration, a few stunts here and there. But nonetheless, we just did a poor job on offense executing, and we knew what we needed to do. We just had to go out and do it. Once we stopped shooting ourselves in the foot, we were able to be successful on the offensive side of the ball.
Do you think the long pass to Jamir really kind of got you guys going?
It did. That was something that we had to have. We had to get some points at the end of the half. And so, I told him how I wanted. I told him where I was going to throw the ball, and he was just running. And that's just something that we've been working on in practice, and it connected for us.
What does it mean to you not just to continue the streak and beat Army, but to be able to give Coach Henry's 56 wins to be the all-time leader?
It's pretty sweet. I mean, it doesn't get much better. It's kind of like two amazing things on one day: the streak, continuing the streak, and then also giving him his the all-time winningest coach in Navy history. So, I mean, that gets much better than that for us. We wanted to send him out like that, and what a better way to give him that record than to beat Army.
Keenan, is playing in this game harder than playing in the
No, it's still football. The keys to win are all the same. And, when you start letting that external pressures get to you, that's when you don't communicate well, your assignments. And I think that's what kind of happened to us. We came out a little too up, didn't relax, didn't play our game until midway through the second quarter. So, hats off to the defense because they really held us up throughout the first half. They didn't allow offensive touchdown, and that's huge. That really helped us out.
Jamir, when you catch that long pass, just what's the momentum swing there? Did you sense at any point that you were wearing down? You were able to wear down Army in the second half, and you were running the ball at will, except when you fumbled, so that wasn't a mishandled snap. But you were wearing them down pretty much the whole way.
Yeah, I guess that was a big momentum shift, and it really helped us take that momentum shift into the second half. And I think it was a big play, and it just really helped us win.
Could the three of you talk about the irony that there's pressure on you because you haven't lost in 13 years now, whereas you would think the pressure would be more on the Army guys who haven't won in 13 years, but it seems like each senior class feels the pressure to continue the streak, and I know you underclassmen do too. Can you all talk about that a little bit?
Well, like Coach said, you focus on the process. Once you start getting the end goal only in your mind, that's when you start to trip up in your preparation. So, preparing for Army, we understand that the streak's there. We acknowledge that it's there. People ask about us. We say, yeah, we understand the magnitude of this game. But going throughout the week, the main focus is just practicing hard, intensity level up, and just getting ready. Because at the end of the day, like I said earlier, it's still a football game. And you still have to do the same things that you've done the last 11 games to win. The only difference is there's more external factors that go into the game. And if you allow that to become an issue or a distraction, then it can affect you.
Keenan, speaking of things you want
I think you want to hear from the other two guys.
I'm sorry, just talk a little bit about feeling the pressure to make sure you continue the streak.
The biggest thing with the streak, it kind of directly correlates to how I kick field goals. I don't ever really worry about the streak of how many makes or how many misses. It's always just something like kicking coach tells me it's a streak of one. I think that's kind of the approach that our team takes when we play Army every year. You don't worry about how many years it's been, whatever. All you worry about is that streak of one.
Jamir?
Yeah, same thing as what those guys said. It's about going 1-0. Doesn't matter who we're playing next. The goal is to go 1-0 and keep your head focused on winning the next game, doing what you have to do to win the next game. So again, there's external pressure out there. We don't feel it. We just worry about the next win.
Keenan, speaking of things that you weren't thinking about, but I was another touchdown, but you're a little bit closer to that all-time touchdown record. Do you even know what it is?
I'm aware of it, but I don't. It's strictly an off-the-field deal. Off the field, I know what I need to get, but on the field, on practice, my main goal is just to execute. Because at the end of the day, we execute, good things are going to happen. And one thing Coach says all the time, the stats for losers. I mean, I can rush for how many ever yards and 6-7 touchdowns, but if we're not winning, then it's pretty pointless. So I'd take a statless game with a victory than a stat padding game without a victory in the game.
Well, one little thing, were you, touchdown number 62, was that ball, were you in? The touchdown yesterday?
And Keenan, you heard Coach saying that usually at the end of the game, you guys kill the clock,
Yeah.
drive it in, you're in field goal territory, looks like you're going for maybe a touchdown to seal. What happened there?
You know, I just, I'm going to take the blame for that one because, you know, we don't make those type of mistakes being Tanner, and, you know, that's a crucial moment. And, you know, he did what he always did. You know, I probably pulled out a little early trying to get to the edge. So I told him, hey, don't worry about it, man. I'll hang in there a little bit longer next time we run the play, and we just moved on because we just trusted our defense that they would come up with a stop and knew that when we get the ball back, all we have to do is get a first down and we'd be able to kill the clock. We're good.
Ken, Coach talked about the country being in good hands with both teams, and I was wondering, you said earlier that it's football, but when you play Navy and you realize that the guys across are also Service Academy members, and maybe even when you play Air Force, whatever, is it a different feel as when you play in like a non-Service Academy, just knowing like what the commitment you guys have afterwards?
I think so because not only just for the commitment, because we all knew and know what that entails for all the service academies. But I think it just kind of like playing a mirror image almost because those guys, they know that everybody knows they're undersized, that most of the guys that are there weren't very recruited. They weren't 5-star athletes, but they're going to fight and they're going to play hard. And so every time we play a service academy, it's really almost like we're playing ourselves. And that mentality that we have as a team, the toughness, the play to the whistle, the never quit, we see that when we go out and play the Air Forces and the Armies.
Any other questions for the offensive guys?
How happy are you guys that your coach isn't on the beach somewhere in Hawaii right now? He said that he could easily be there chilling right now. He's got the win record for you guys at Navy. What does that mean for you guys to be playing for him?
Ecstatic. Like I said earlier, it doesn't get much better than this.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.